Hi and welcome to Tabletop Gaming. My name is Charlie and today we're going to take a first look at what's next. Now, I am very, very excited about this game. This is a almost sort of left field game because it doesn't come from where you'd expect it to. This is a choose your own adventure game with challenges included, but by our friends over at Big Potato. Now, Big Potato are known predominantly for their party games. They are a gateway into gaming for so many people and they've really dominated the market with sort of cute, easy to pick up games that have a whole wealth of fun. Now, this then, as a full-on sort of almost board game, this is more in the board game side of things, is a little bit surprising. However, once you get into it, you'll realise that actually it has all of the hallmarks of the Big Potato games that we know and love, and that's what makes it so exciting. Now, this game, what's next? There are two things I want to tell you. First of all, you can check out a feature on this in the magazine, issue 57. I will put the link in the description so you can head straight to that so you can read the interview that we did with them there. And then secondly, this is a prototype. I like to make it very clear to all of you, this is a prototype. Things may change, there may be some parts missing. We know we've lost a card, for example. Little things like that that we just need to be aware of. This will not be the final version, but as you can see, it is beautiful already. So this is really exciting to take a look at inside. Today we'll do a first look, so we'll show you the components that are included and a little bit about what it's about, what it's like, so you can get a feel of whether the game is for you or not. Okay, so without further ado, we'll have a quick nosy around the box because I actually think this is super pretty. So we start with the box cover itself and you'll notice that that is a magnetic close, which I adore. If we flip it around, we also have sort of a little bit of fun on the back to give us a little bit more information. Plus, you'll see on the side bits here, we have a little QR code. We're getting very good with QR codes nowadays, and that will just give you an idea of what's going on in it and give you sort of like a, here's what one of the games is like, so you can just check that out if you fancy it. But let's have a look. Look at that magnetic close. It's so pretty. Magnetic close board games, honestly, just this is the way to do things. And then we have this beautiful scene. Open. So nice. If I don't drop parts out of it, we'll pretend that didn't happen and we'll pop that open and see there's plenty. So this tells us a little bit about what we're going to be looking at. If you can see that, I will pop a close-up when we haven't got everything in there, and as well a little bit of a reminder of some of the different adventures that you'll be going on. Now, I said this was a choose your own adventure with sort of fun puzzles in between, and it really is that. So I'll explain as we go, but I will show you. We've got a drawstring bag. We have what will eventually be sort of timery spin dials. This you're going to use to flick things to get to a certain area. So it's all about like a little mini dexterity. Quite nicely, there's little sticky bits on the back to keep that nice and sturdy. We have, of course, our instructions, which is very nicely there for you. And those work out by giving you an sort of adventure. Here's what's happening, here's the introduction, and then as we go through it then tells us a little bit more about what we'll be expected to do. Now, the way in which we do that is to pick up the cards. So let's move on to those. So in each of these we have a box full of cards and stuff. And we have a little bit of a summary on the back about what those are about. I will just note as well, we have the sticker, but it's got a koala on it. That's so cute. I wish I'd started collecting those earlier, but I just have one with a cowboy hat on, I think, that is stuck to my desk, which is delightful. We have the Skyscraper Caper. We have Blinky's Great Escape. We have Drums of Koala's Cave, which I am struggling to get out one-handed. Good job, Charlotte. Look at all of those. So 3 games built in, and then we have lots of little bits as well hidden away here. One thing I will say is I don't know I don't know how close to the final version this is, but Big Potato have got a really good commitment to trying to minimise use of plastic, so you may well see them with these paper bags. But this, look at all these random little pieces. And do you know what you have to do with that? You're going to have to build. To win, you're going to have to build upwards with those oddly shaped pieces. Let's take a further look. Okay, so we've also then got random little, I don't even know what they are. They're tiny little pieces that have got handprints on them, and they're all of a different shape and size. I don't know if this is the one where you've got to be able to pick the right one, but we'll come to that in a moment. So let's sort of give you an idea of what this does, because as I say, it's got all the hallmarkings of Big Potato, but a little bit of sort of funky other side of gaming as well. So if we look at the Skyscraper Caper, I have no reason for that, but it tells me you're a crime-fighting superhero and your housekeeper, it has you on the run. Dodge frying pans, deflect laser beams, and do everything you can to stop her before she stops you. Oh, fabulous. Okay, so inside one of these packs we have 3 different packages of cards. So one of them is location cards, one of them is event cards, and the other are item cards. Now I mentioned about the plastic commitment earlier. These are little held in place by sort of sticky paper that says I used to be plastic, which is quite nice. Now the other thing they've done that I really like is they have backed the front and the back with cards that say what they are, so you can't accidentally see inside the deck to see what's coming next. You can't spoil it for yourself. It's covered on both sides. If we head to our instructions for a little bit more detail, we have there. We have a animated introduction option, which is on the QR code, which is exciting. The chapter introduction with a little bit more information about Mrs. Butterworth, who is trying to kill you. Got to keep your skills sharp, my dear, she says. And it has a little bit of information. This is a difficult rating of 2. There is an adventure challenge for an extra tricky challenge, so if you played it the first time and want to try again. And it says before you start this adventure, you'll take certain item cards from the deck as well. So you have your time dial, which we've not put together, but you can see sort of what they look like. Those will represent faulty New York power grid. Every few turns a blackout will cause the skyscraper to lose power, leaving you in the dark. So let's take a quick look at these cards then. So look away if you don't want any spoilers at all for this. I will not go into a lot of detail because I don't want to spoil it, but just to give it. So location cards, that's obviously our topper. The skyscraper caper. First time trying this challenge, read the chapter introduction in the rules and then flip this card over. So I will read this to you and then we'll go from there. With a grunt, Mrs. Butterworth swings the bottle of Dom Perignon at your head. You dodge and it slams into your pillow, which explodes in a blizzard of expensive feathers. You jump to your feet, ready to fight. The sooner this is over, the sooner you can get back to bed. So you're going to randomise the dial by closing your eyes and turning it for 3 seconds. And then to continue, we have a card reference on the bottom that tells us we're going to need to go to card 1. Those are all held at the top of the card, so trying not to show you anything, but you can see they've got those up there. So card 1. You karate kick the bottle of champagne out of her hand, sending it flying across the room. Quick as a flash, Mrs. Butterworth spins around, rips your platinum Bee Gees disc off the wall and frisbees it at your head. To catch the disc, we have a sort of warning symbol and 1. So let's see what we need to do. I should probably explain also that warning symbol that I mentioned is reference to the event cards, which have the same symbol on them, and we are number 1. So the first one is you trying to catch the flying disc. How are you going to do that? This is a mini game. You get 3 practice attempts. I will show you this card so you can see. What you're going to do is hand this card to another player and take 3 steps away. You must get them to throw it at you and you must catch it with 1 hand. So, Now, on the one hand, we have if you succeed, go to location 2. If you fail, turn the card over. So it's really, really simple. So what we're doing is we're creating a physical game that's a little bit more like what we would expect to see in sort of our choose your own adventure pass, or lay your cards out to work out what's going on. So this sort of style is becoming, I swear, more popular. I'm seeing more of it recently, but with party games in it too. So you may not even realise that you're playing a slightly heavier, it's not heavy by any standards, but sort of less off of the party game scale and into a on the table board game, but with all the fun party elements that you get as well. So with your dexterity challenge, are you going to be able to catch it? Are you going to be able to succeed? So if we turn that over and fail, we're just told that the BG record hits you right between the eyes, clutching your head, you stagger to the door and run downstairs, and now we're going to have to go to location card 3. Now of course these cards are going to try and prompt you to do something, so in that case it was just flinging the card that you have, but there might be more specific ones, which is why we've got so many components available to us as well, because it keeps the variety there. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to head forward to another scenario just so that I can show you on the cards what you're going to expect and what that's going to mean for here. So this one is that you're going to have to try and jump past the circular saws, and you're going to do so using the push puck. You get 3 practice attempts. With those, what we need is this from earlier, and we have a little puck as well. We're going to lay this on the table once I make enough room for it. Good job, Charlotte. And we're going to try and push the puck into the target area. Now, the target area is quite straightforward. We're quite early on in this stage where this card comes in, but we need to get it in the top 3 without ruining it. So if I... You get 3 practice attempts, but you must declare which attempt is your actual attempt. So if I try again... Too far. Okay. This is my last practice one. Oh, and I ruined it as well. Okay, so this is my final one. Will I succeed? Ah, I did! Yay! Everybody cheer for me. Please put in the comments. Well done, Charlie, because I love feedback. Thanks. Right, so I have succeeded. What that means is I go to location card number 6 and we see what happens at location card number 6, which in this case, you dive through the air and land with a roll as the razor sharp saws slice together. You made it. Now, suddenly, the floor before you drops away, revealing the hole that leads directly to the sewers 121 stories below. You're gonna have to jump it. And it gives you another event card to then carry on going through to then do something else. I think that gives you an idea sort of what you're expecting from this. You're telling a story, but as you go, it's very dependent on what it is that you choose to do or are able to do based on your skills that creates your path for you. What's nice about that is it isn't reliant on a dice roll like I would expect, or it isn't reliant on sort of having the right equipment or the equipment is available to you. It is all about sort of these cute little dexterity games and feeling more involved, bringing the game off of the tabletop and into the real world with these cute little dexterity games, cute little party games, and it just feels like all of the fun that Big Potato try and infuse into all their games is in this, in little tiny little events, and you sort of can't wait to turn over the next card because the stories are quite cute, they're quite funny. You've got a housekeeper trying to kill you with a bottle of Dom Perignon and suddenly your house has got circular saws in it and you're going to have to avoid them, or there's a 121 story drop to the sewers. These are bonkers in the best way. So you want to see what happens next. What is Mrs. Butterworth going to do next to try and kill you? Are you going to be able to flick a puck to create a movement? Are you going to be able to stack really wonky tiles high enough to get the amount of things that you need to get the ability to then turn over a different card? And the thing is, if you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's funny, something bad will happen or something in the story will take a turn, but there's no necessarily penalty. It's not like you failed, you're out, that's it, you're done. You still carry on playing and you just sort of groan when the same trial comes back up again should you need to jump over something else, or you get better at it, or you wind your friends up about how it's being done. Now this is a cooperative game, but you can play it from solo up to 4 players for probably about ages 10 plus. So that's what's next. I appreciate this has been a very quick video, but I very much don't want to spoil any of the fun of this because A, it is very straightforward to pick up and get moving with. You're literally going to be laying your cards out and it will tell you where to go next, so you just follow the path that's set out and attempt the challenges as they're told. The instructions are incredibly clear. It is so easy to work out what you've got to do, and I think it is just oodles of fun packed into an idea that you're almost like, why haven't I seen this popular before? Why hasn't this come about beforehand? I'm admittedly a big fan of Big Potato anyway, but I do think this is a really sort of top-notch different direction for them, but keeping all of their personality bundled into it in such a way that you could take this out. I could take this out with any group of friends, I feel, not just my gaming group, which I think really bridges the gap in a really exciting way. I'm so excited about this game, and I hope that comes across. So that's all from us. My name has been Charlie. Head to tabletopgaming.co.uk for more information on all things tabletop, as well as picking up that magazine. Please pop in the comments what your thoughts are on this, whether it's something you're excited about, even what your favourite party game is. It gives me an excuse to chat about games in the comments, and we all know I love talking about games. I'm super excited about this. You can head to Big Potato, do pre-order I believe at this stage, if not pick it up by the time you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.